Hello and welcome to Brazen. I am so grateful that you're here, especially today as we are sitting with the incredible Holly Lamb is joining us again. And not only is Holly joining us today on the podcast, but she's also joining us as a special guest teacher this fall for the 2025 fall retreat. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about what we're going to be covering, what she's going to be talking about and teaching on. We're going to discuss a lot of what's happening in the world right now that we have noticed with not only our clients, but also just the women in our lives and ourselves. And I also want to give you guys some sneak peeks on what is new, because this is the first time that the fall retreat has been completely revamped. And of course, it's happening with Holly being our guest teacher. And with the revamping, it is so much more this fall about feminine energy, tapping into that, what that even fucking means, being more in your body, less in your mind. A lot of the women that have come to work with me this past year have kind of went back to this same feeling that they're almost like, I'm a floating head. I don't even know what's going on with my body. I don't even feel connected to my body, whether it was disconnection from childbirth or from trauma or literally anything. I mean, childbirth is traumatic. So there's that as well. There's so many different things that women have talked about. So I want you guys to know that not only what we're discussing today is this a huge part of the fall retreat and all of the teachings, and especially for the VIP, the private retreat chat and all the extra coaching that's going to happen there, but there's a lot more newness. So I'm going to give you guys some sneak peeks. So let's talk about, let me move my little screen over here. There we go. Let's talk about Holly. Holly, I already told you before we press record, I fucking gloat on you all the time. I think you're the fucking coolest woman in the world. I don't remember rightly our first time meeting. I believe it was a 2-day free experience and then a Women Rising. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were immediately one of my favorite humans to have in any of the events because you have an openness, not just in your heart, but also your mind. You are open. You are open to perspectives. You're open to learning. You're open to sharing. You're open to vulnerability. You are the type of woman that I would imagine. I haven't had the honor of being in a room with you person to person, but I would imagine when you walk into a room, people feel it because I felt it every single time that you came to any of the events. Every woman felt comfortable with you. I felt comfortable with you. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to learn from you. I wanted to just share space with you. And moving into a space where you were joining me in those events to you joining me as guest teacher, guest speaker, it has been really full circle. And I'm so grateful to have you in the fall retreat. You are wildly talented. And we were talking about all the great stuff you've been doing before we pressed record. It's fucking awesome what you are tapped into and how you help people. And honestly, I just want to say too, how you don't give a fuck. Like you are like, this is me. I'm owning my gifts. I'm owning why I'm here on this earth. And this is what I'm doing. And if you don't like it, fucking tough titties, dude. I don't care. And that to me is such an inspiration because I feel like that's what we all strive to be doing is to live unapologetically, to live with integrity, and to not let what people think about us affect us. And that's where you sit, and it's so cool to watch. So thank you, Holly, for not only being here today on the podcast, thank you for being in the fall retreat. Would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Thank you so much. That's the nicest introduction ever. Oh my God. Thank you. And do you know what? It's funny. I was thinking about how we met, and it was when Sam Altieri was there. And it
Yeah.
was that year. And then yeah, then it's just been going on from that. And it's like you said, it's come full circle. And I'm so honored
Yes.
to have been asked to come and speak at the fall retreat. So thank you so much.
Yes.
For anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Holly. So I'm a womb witch and psychic channel, and I help to heal women's wombs cycles with energy work, with cycle work, with tapping into their inner wisdom through lots of different modalities, just depends what you need. But it's just to allow women to come back into harmony and to come back into resonance with their body because we have been disconnected from it on purpose for centuries. And the amazing stuff we can do in the womb is start to heal parts of that lineage, start to heal past lives, start to heal inner child stuff. And that's basically what I do, as well as helping women trying to conceive as well within the astral. All kinds of stuff related to the womb that is just amazing.
That's incredible. Okay. So I'm thinking about this if I was the listener. So, hello, listener. I'm thinking about it from your perspective right now. I would want to know what are some of the coolest things that you have had happen with clients recently?
hmm Yeah. So when women come to me, they may have a specific reason why they want a womb healing session. Some of them are like, I don't even know what this is, but I feel like I need it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So what I do is I ground in the energies of Mother Earth and of Source, and then I bring in my guides, your guides, and we journey into the quantum of your womb space, where the quantum of your womb is where everything can open up, and I can start to see basically what's going on in there. So a lot of the sessions I've been having recently is women may come to me and think they need a part of this healing. When in reality it's something completely different, and then that gets shown to me. So recently I've had a lot of women with inner child stuff. I've had a lot of women with witch wounds, sister wounds, but things that have gone back lifetimes that need to be cleared and annulled. And by doing this, it allows women's creativity to open up, because that's been a big one I've seen, is women feel blocked, or maybe you feel like you start something and you don't finish it, or you have an idea and it goes and you can't seem to follow through. By clearing what's in the womb space and using it as your portal of creation, it allows it to open up and it allows your creativity to flourish. And I've got women like doing stuff they've never done before because they're so inspired by being fully open and allowing the portal of their womb space to basically open everything up. And also, I just want to add, if your womb space is closed off, you're not able to connect to that intuition part of you, because sciencey, the vagus nerve connects the womb, the heart, the throat, the third eye.
Mhm.
So energetically, if one or two or all are blocked, you're not going to be able to connect to that intuition. So opening up the womb then opens up the heart, which allows you then to speak your truth, and then that opens up your intuition. And we want all women to be tapped into their intuition, because once you listen to that inner voice above everything else, you cannot be controlled. That's what we don't want.
It is. We are talking about being unapologetic, like
Mm,
being, and when we talk about being unapologetically yourself, like we don't mean just being a dick and being like, I'm me, I don't fucking care about anybody. Like it's being unapologetically yourself in a world that wants you to fit into boxes and
yeah.
not making the world out to be a villain because quite frankly, we're the ones that created it. So it's our responsibility to fix what needs fixing. But
Mhm.
we have, we throughout generations, throughout time, things have happened, decisions have been made, words have been said, actions, all of it that have led to so many of us, not just women, feeling like we have to live in a box. We have to live a certain way. We have to do what this person says, the way this person says it, the way this person thinks, instead of being open to the idea, the more natural way of living, I would say, of I'm going to be me, you're going to be you, and we're going to be us. And I think
Yeah.
actually Dolly Parton said that, if I'm correct. I think so.
Love that.
But like it's it's allowing this unapologetic way of living when they connect, like you're talking about, when we
hmm
do the work that you and I have done personally and with our clients, and it's a forever work. It's never quite done.
Yeah.
When we do this, we live unapologetically where we're not in the boxes anymore. We're
hmm
not submissive to
hmm
things we don't feel comfortable being submissive to.
hmm
We are not watered down. We're
hmm
not disconnected. We're not dysregulated. We're not lonely. We're not sad. Like all of these things tend to dissolve once you start doing the work to be who you really fucking are and to live happier and to live healthier and to be connected to yourself.
hmm
So when you have women come to you,
hmm
we had talked before we pressed record about the things that we wanted to make sure the listener knew were normal. Not in a
hmm
way to normalize them to be like, it's fine if you feel like shit, continue to feel like shit. Like, no, but normalize it to be like, this is human and it's part of the human experience. So when women come to work with you, do they feel dysregulated?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Do
hmm
they feel tired?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Depressed?
Some, yeah, some
Yeah.
it can be depression, yeah.
Yeah. Do they feel like that the giving and the taking are not equal? Do they feel like the reciprocity needs to be balanced a bit more? Like they're over giving all the time and they never feel like they're getting in return?
Yeah, that's been coming up a lot recently.
Yeah, yeah, the same. Personally and with clients, I've noticed there's a lot of balance that has had to come back. Do they feel lonely, especially when they're with people? That's been an interesting one I've noticed.
Yeah, I definitely feel, especially the women that are kind of getting to the menopause age, that's
Yeah,
when they start to feel the more lonely because all these things are changing and they're not quite sure how to navigate it because the mainstream paints it as something really negative.
yeah.
So they feel like disconnected and lonely from that 100%.
That's
Mm.
I'm so excited for the work that you do, for the work that I do, for the work that so many others like us do, because it is making all that shit disappear, just to put it
Yeah.
frankly. Like it's not going to be able to survive in a world where people are true to themselves and live authentically and we get out of this weird fucking just a side note. So I just a story about this with me. I come from a family and I just had an experience with them yesterday because I went to a funeral and I come from a family of incredible women. So it was on my father's side and there are women. I was crying on the way home to sending voice clips to Trav because I was like, oh, there's women that I haven't seen in so many years. And I stay connected to them, but I love them so much. And their hug feels like home. Their hugs feel like the most warm love and being around them and laughing with them and just sitting around a table, fucking eating baked beans with them at this little hall we were at. Like, it just felt so incredible.
Mhm.
Excuse me, I still also have sinus stuff. But then there are women in the family, and I noticed it while we were there, that they were very rude to other women.
Mm.
I noticed them speaking down to other women. I
Mm.
noticed them um, degrading how other women looked, the clothes they were wearing, the choices they were making in their life. And I noticed it because, just observing and watching them do it to others. And I had a few of them do it to me, like even with like our wedding, sharing details about the wedding. And from my perspective, I stepped back and sat in that observing seat and I was like, wow, like what are you feeling inside right now
Mm.
to be speaking this way about other women? And I
Mhm.
notice that all the time. Like, I feel like that's just, I sit in the observing seat a lot more than I ever have in my life. Like, that's kind
Mhm.
of, not kind of, that is 100% my intention most of the time.
Mhm.
But I really saw it yesterday, especially with family. It always hits a little bit harder with family. And I just wanted to kind of toss this ball to you. Like, do you notice this? And do you ever sit in that with women, like, not looking at them in any type of negative way necessarily, but just looking at them in curiosity and being
Mhm.
like, what is in there? What's going on? And just hoping for them. Like, I hope that heals. I hope you have a moment of clarity where you're like, I don't have to be like this to other women because those sister wounds that you mentioned or mother wounds, those are so common in the women that come to work with me. And I think women all over the world.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%. And it's really sad because it's kind of not their fault. It's the way that society has driven us to this point. I mean, social media doesn't help. I mean, the
Right.
filters and all the stuff and looking a certain way and everybody looks the same. And I even said that to my husband, it's like everybody looks the same, especially on these like reality shows. It's like nobody looks different anymore. And it's this is what we have grown up with and this has become normalized. So
Yeah.
slating other women, if you think back to, it was probably like early 2000s, there was like magazines over here where they used to do like circles of shame because she had cellulite or
Oh,
she
yeah.
had weight. Like, yeah, that became normal.
Yeah.
So I think, especially our kind of generation, that's still kind of leaking over. And there's a lot of women that haven't healed that part of them. So I think society has a lot to do with it, but then it gets to the point where you have to take that radical responsibility and think, but
Yeah.
why? why am I saying that about that woman? It's usually because there's a mirror reflecting back to you what you're not happy about
Right.
yourself. And it takes a lot to get to the point where you do truly love yourself. And there's going to be days where there's probably parts of you that you don't. But if you love yourself 90% of the time, then you're doing better than most.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like I'm that observer. Like I sit and I watch. And it takes me back to when I was working in offices and there was a few women who would constantly just gossip, gossip, gossip.
Oh, it's my least favorite thing in the world. It makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, like obviously I don't work in offices or anything anymore, thank God.
Right, right, right,
Um,
right.
but it can still happen. It can still happen, or you might hear something, overhear something when you're out. And it saddens me. But the way that we can change it is first by changing ourselves and then by talking about it and normalizing the fact that every single woman is different. Every single woman looks different, acts different, and it's about being compassionate. And if you just send love to them, then that will hopefully and eventually start to radiate out. Because I always say this, like, you may feel like you can't do anything as a one person, but if you change yourself, that ripples out to everybody that you know. And then that's how the ripple effect happens and how we change what's going on in society right now.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and it's the comparison.
Mm,
There's this, it's so sticky. It's so sticky, it's so icky, it's so gnarly, and it's this comparison. I see it a lot in my family system, but there's a lot of gossip. And I see it differently because I lived far away from family for
yeah.
so long that like I have a different perspective. I have a different view of it now than I ever did before. And I see it in, I can't really say friend groups because to be quite honest, I've done a lot of cleanup. And I don't really, I don't really associate with people that like if I am friends with you and you're talking shit about a friend, I'm like, oh, we're done. We're
Hmm.
done here. So like with you at the office, it's not really something I'm around as much anymore.
Hmm.
But it always seems to come back to a comparison. And it's
Hmm.
always she's not doing what I think she should do. That's what I've noticed the most of. And of course, there's stuff under, like, there's always, like you said, there's something in there. Or it's this judgment towards how a woman's living her life, which I think is wild that
Hmm.
this happens. And it does. I mean, and I'm fucking guilty of this too. There have been times where I have gossiped. There have been times, like, I've not been a perfect human for sure.
Hmm.
But this judgment of how other women live their life is the one that really is wild to me because that's the one thing we all crave as women is to be loved by other women, to be supported by other women, and to be free to be ourselves and
Hmm.
to be creative and to be joyful and to be happy and to live in laughter and like abundance in all ways, shapes, and forms. And and of course, it comes down to like a jealousy aspect most of the time. But when women see that, if there's a part of them that doesn't sit well with the judgment towards others, it's so wild to observe that. And again,
Hmm.
I'm not a fucking perfect human, but now sitting and observing it, it takes my breath away.
Hmm.
It's wild. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it does really sadden me that this is where we've got to, and even like I have to stop myself because on threads it's wild if you post something and someone comments because they don't agree with you, especially womb stuff. Like
Oh,
people
I
are
bet.
like crazy, like, and telling people to come off hormonal contraception and don't take HRT. Like I've had all the stuff and it's fine. I'm just like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving mine what I do and what I help my clients do. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to comment. Like you can
Right,
just move away.
right.
Um, but yeah, I did comment on one post, which I don't normally do, but I just said how period blood is sacred and all these things, and how there was research coming out how it helps to heal Alzheimer's, which there was one study done, and that was there. And
Yeah.
whoa, I had to turn off comments because the barrage of hate I got from saying our period blood is sacred. Like, I'm not telling you to go and rub it on your face. Like, you can do what you want. Like, you don't
Right.
have to give it back to the earth, all that stuff. But it is a sacred rite of passage for every single woman. And it's just been forgotten and lost. And people think that popping a pill and not having a period is normal. So,
Yeah.
yes, the judgment part is wild. And it is going to take a lot of unlearning for women to get to a point where that doesn't happen. But I definitely feel like when you start tapping into the womb, the cycle, understanding that, that really helps to heal that. I've been
Mhm.
in spaces like the spaces with you, Heather, and I'm in another like group with another load of women who are so supportive. That's really helped to heal that part of me when I've been in like school situations or work situations where I was always the odd one, of course. Of course. Here's my crystals. I've got crazy hair. Like, do you know what I mean? I was always that person.
I love that
So,
about you. It's my favorite thing.
but that's helped to heal it. So it's finding
Yeah.
those places and spaces when you're ready to heal
Yeah.
that part of you. Because some women aren't, and some women, some people are not on this earth to evolve, and that's just their life path. But if you are, then it's time to take that radical responsibility and look for ways that you can start to do that, like by working with Heather or working with me, or just finding a group of women that you feel supported with that can be
Yeah.
free. There'll be loads of stuff in your community that's free.
Yeah. Well, and that takes me to the next point that I wanted to bring up is we take all of these things that we just discussed that are
Mhm.
very real and very alive. I don't want to just say society. They're alive in every single one of our lives. You
Mhm.
have a coworker, a boss, a family member, a friend, hopefully not a friend, but like that happens. Like you have people in your life, specifically in this conversation, women, where you're noticing these things. And I think that what's happening in the world, so chaotic, things are being shaken. It's very much a shaken to awaken moment.
Mhm.
Um, so that's good. You know, only good can come from unveiling what's not fucking working.
Mhm.
Um, But if you add all these together, that's a lot for a woman, especially if you're a mom. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Like my clients,
Yeah.
my friends, my family that are moms on top of it. I'm like, how are you raising a fucking
Oh.
child on top of all of this right now? Holy shit. But like, if you take all of this and the shame that we feel within
Mhm.
our bodies about our fucking blood. Like the shame that we have from our bleed, which is the most natural fucking thing, which is wild. The shame that we have. And it's not just like something that we can be like, oh, I'm going to turn it off, like a light switch. No, it's generations. We can look
Mhm.
at it from the science and with epigenetics. We can look at it from a more spiritual side. Like we have shame that's been passed down. I mean, we were traded like goats. And in some fucking countries, it's still happening.
Yeah.
Like women have so much in all cultures and all races that we're moving through. And then when you take what's happening all over the world on top of it, that's a lot. So if like let's say the listener right now, I'm sure the listener's like, exactly. Yes, Heather and Holly, that's exactly how I'm feeling. Like, what would you tell them? Like, what are some practical things they can do right now to work through that?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I always try and look at it as what is 1% more that
I
you
love
can do.
that. Yeah.
Because there's like you say, there's like, obviously, I don't have kids and I work from home. So, like, I'm 2 days away from my bleed. So, tomorrow I'm probably just going to work in bed. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But people
Yeah.
don't have that luxury. And I totally understand that. So, I have to look at it from all angles and all perspectives. And especially if you've got kids, like craziness.
Right.
My friend has 3 kids, and I'm like, how do you do this?
Agreed.
Yeah, so practical things you can do is like always look at it from the 1%. What's 1% more than I can do? But I always think you need to set yourself up for success. So having a really good morning routine, and I don't mean spending an hour like journaling and yoga and breath work, like literally, no.
Right.
Like I have a really good, which I'll send to Heather actually, a really good 10-minute grounding meditation that's just going to set you up for the day and just
Yeah.
anchor you into your body. Because as women, we have all the tabs open in our head and we're like, okay, I need to do this and take the kids and do this. Whereas this will just allow you to have 10 minutes to yourself in the morning to be like, right, I'm ready. I'm fucking ready to go now for the day. And then
Yeah.
simple things like obviously like I've come from like a personal trainer background as well. So I'm very much still in the mindset of like prepping and stuff. And can you spend especially when we get into the week before our bleed and we're more tired, can we prep and
Yep.
get ready for that week? Like, can I batch cook and freeze some stuff so I don't have to worry about that? Like, just things that you can start to think about to set yourself up. And as much as possible, and even if you've got a busy life, taking a little bit of time for yourself.
Mm.
Because I think, especially when women become mums, they think that that's it, your life just revolves around this child. And of course, that
Right.
happens. You forget about yourself. And I always use the analogy of if a plane's going down, they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first before helping
Right.
anybody else. So if your cup isn't filled up, then you can't pour into everybody else, which as moms and wives, you will be doing. So what's 1% you can do to shift to set yourself up for success, to just make your life easier? Because there's little things you can do just to make your life so much easier. Like I said, the meditation, the prepping, and just taking time to tap back into your body. And you can
Mhm.
just ask. You can just ask. Like I put hands on my womb, obviously, because of the womb stuff I do, and I ask for
Right.
guidance. But you can just like lay and just tap into your body and just be like, okay, what do I need? Like, what do I
Yeah.
need today? Is it maybe just another 10 minutes laying here? Um, is it some cacao? Is it a bath? Do you know what I mean? What do I
Yeah.
need today? And lean on other people to help you be able to do that. Like maybe getting that accountability of a friend or your partner if you're saying, look, I want to do this. And that does really help you achieve what you want to achieve and just pouring back into yourself a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. I got to go back to what you said about pouring from an empty cup.
Mm.
This is without a doubt one of the biggest resistance points that I work with anybody. Like I've had so many conversations, not even just with clients, but with fucking friends about this.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest resistance points is I don't want to be selfish.
Selfish. Yeah.
Oh, I just did a whole episode about like brought in fucking research because it has been so present with clients, with myself. I've been called selfish and self-centered recently because I've been taking care of myself and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like it's it's wild. And I'm going to go back to a conversation I had with a client earlier in the summer.
Mhm.
She was telling me that even the thought of her putting herself before her children made her feel like a failure. It made her feel selfish. It made her feel like a bad person. And
Mhm.
there was a long list of other things that she listed. And my immediate question to her was, why is it black and white?
Mhm.
Why does it have to be putting yourself before your kids? Why can't it be you're putting yourself first along with your kids from the perspective
Mhm.
of when I do this, I'm a better mom. When I do this, I'm a better woman. When I do this, I don't feel burnt out. I can be there for them. And especially with her, she had very young kids and then she had a teenage daughter.
Mhm.
So you're also, when you burn yourself out, when you're like, no, this is what being a mom is sacrificing everything, which, okay, I don't actually know what it means to be a mother and give birth, 110%. I don't know what that means. I know what
Mhm.
it means to care for others. I know what it means to help women find balance as mothers.
Mhm.
And so for her to be in a space where she's like, no, I must sacrifice everything and give my children everything. And it's okay that I've lost myself because then I'm not selfish. Society won't see me as this bad person. We got into a conversation of, well, what are you teaching your teenage daughter then? And
Yeah.
that's where it changed for her. That was the
Mhm.
ticket for her. She had full body goosebumps. We had a whole deep conversation. I was like, because she went into it, of course, she answered the question, what she's teaching her daughter. And what she realized was she was teaching her daughter to lose herself. She was
Mm.
teaching her daughter to put everything before herself. And so we had a conversation about, okay, well, let's go into the future. Let's go into the future. Your daughter has just given birth to her daughter.
Mhm.
When you walk into that room, are you going to grab that baby and completely disregard your baby? Because that's your baby that just gave birth. Are you
Yeah.
going to be like, tough titties to you, couldn't care less, give me that baby? No, it's going to be equal. Your heart doesn't shut down. It's not black and white like that. You're
Mm.
going to want to make sure that the mother, your baby, is cared for just as much as her baby is. So,
Mhm.
applying that to ourselves as women, if you're a mom to say, or if you're a stepmom, or if you're a caregiver, it doesn't matter. If you're taking care of others, especially if you're a wife, I mean, I wake up and this morning I cooked breakfast for Trav before he left. I made sure that I had my protein and my immunos in my system first because at least then I would not be a walking zombie. Like doing the things we need to do. And that shifted it for her. And I think
Mm.
that that's a big piece that it's the selfish piece for women. It's the no, I have to do more. I have to give it all. If I don't, somebody's going to say this about me, think this about me, feel this about me. When in
Mm.
reality, it's the fear of what we're gonna think. Because yeah,
Yeah.
people might say shit. Some people say dumb shit. Like sometimes people say things and you're like, you that's what you chose to say out loud. It's a wild thing to say out loud. It's happened, but it's really what we have to go to bed with at night. And if we can't find a balance of taking care of ourselves and filling our cups so the overflow can go to our partners, our children, our whoever's in our life, if we
Yeah.
can't get good with that, we will spend the rest of our life trying to find a balance while we stay burnt out, dysregulated, tired as fuck, all these things.
Yeah, 100%, because society glorifies working hard and burning out and doing all the things where actually, and I know women and people talk about, being more in the feminine, and it's not
Mm.
about like sitting on your ass doing nothing. It's about understanding the ebbs and flows of your body because we are not a 24-hour cycle like men. We are a 20-ish 8-day cycle. And I think really for if women truly understood the seasons of their cycle and how that worked, I think that would help them to feel less selfish when they know they need to slow down and they know they need
Yes.
to rein it in to conserve their energy so that they can then give to their families, partners, whoever.
Mhm.
And it does take a lot of unlearning for women, and that selfish thing definitely comes up. And even like from time to time, like I said, tomorrow I'm just going to spend a day for myself because that's what I
Yes.
need. But sometimes I'll be laying there like, oh, I probably should just get up and do something, or I probably should do this. It's like, no, this is what I'm going to do, and this is my day. And that's okay. It's just society and that little like inner critic at the back of your head going, you shouldn't be doing this. This is
Right.
selfish. Yeah, I love that perspective shift with your client. Like that's such a great question for her to see that and then for her to be able to switch that. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and what you just said is so, I want to highlight that. It's not, yes, working hard. I am a big believer that hard work is important.
Yeah.
I 110% of the time, I can guarantee you. Okay, let's not say that. That's not true. 91% of the time, I can guarantee you I'm the hardest worker in the fucking room.
Hmm.
I don't even have a question about that.
Hmm.
110% amount, I'm the smartest worker in the room.
Mm.
I'm going
Yeah.
to work smarter over harder every single fucking time. And
Hmm.
part of working smarter, not harder as a woman is doing exactly what you just said. Is
Hmm.
saying, okay, do I work against myself today or this week, or do I work with myself?
Hmm.
Syncing my life with my cycle, I didn't have any idea what that meant 10,
Hmm.
15 years ago. And even 5 years ago, I was really just like stumbling along. Like I had all these charts up in my office, and I'm like, okay, I can fucking do this. What am I doing right now? And it was the most beautiful journey because now, just like you, I have the luxury of working from bed, but that's because I busted my ass to get to here.
Yeah. So
It's not because like this magical fucking fairy came in and said, ping, now you get to do this. No, I went from burnout, living off of caffeine, living off of nicotine, living off of pure determination, working ungodly hours, pushing myself to really unhealthy stages to where I am now because I was dedicated to this isn't the fucking life I want to live. And we all have that within us. Everybody has a different version of the life that they want to live, like the desires that they have, how they want to spend their days. And now I get to lay in bed, just like you were talking about. And it's such a luxury. That's one of my favorite luxuries is right before my bleed. Oh, you can bet your ass. I'm sending you voice clips from the tub.
Yep.
Like my clients know for a fact they can hear it. They're like, "You're in the tub right now, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I fucking am. I am working from the tub today." Like it's not a luxury that everybody has. It is a luxury that we created because of determination and hard work and working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And being able to teach women how to do this in their way, what
Yeah.
works best with their schedule, because there was a, it's not the same client I was talking about, but there was a client that I worked with a few years ago. She craved bathtubs so much. That was one of the things she came to work with me. She's like, "You always talk about being in the bathtub all the time." I'm like, "Girls in the bathtub all the time." She's like, "I've been wanting a bath for years, but I have a toddler. There's no fucking way. Like, I just want to take a bath. I just want to enjoy it." And we sat down and in literally, I don't know, 20 minutes or less, we created a system for her and for her child, not even including her partner. Like, if they
Mm-hmm.
can help, awesome, but let's make it for you and your child. We created a system where her child has an activity she
Mm-hmm.
can watch over. The child is safe. The child is learning. The child is creative. The child is having fun, and she's in the tub and she gets to enjoy it. And they both are safe. They are both happy. And by the end of it, she's like, how did I never fucking think to do this? I'm like, that's because we don't, as women, we
Mm-hmm.
don't think of how can I make it work for me and the kid. We think of, or me and my husband, or me and this. It's how can I make it work for everybody else? And I guess I'll just fucking be fine.
Yeah.
But we're never fine. We're not
Mm-hmm.
fine. We say we're fine. We're not fucking fine. So, like, what you said is so big to work with cycles and the way that you teach women to work with their cycles. Like, just the small amount of time I've got to spend with you and the way that you teach this, it's so amazing because you teach women from such a natural perspective. So it's so much easier to understand. It clicks. Every
Mm-hmm.
woman that I have ever had in my circles that has encountered you and the way that you speak, they're like, she makes it make sense. It clicks because it's natural. It's like I'm remembering how to work with my body instead of just learning how to work with my body. So, on that note, what would you say to a woman, especially a woman that's thinking about coming into the fall retreat? Because I
Mm-hmm.
know there's a lot of them that are listening to this. They're like, let me feel it out. That's what I do before I join a retreat. I'm like, let me just listen to a few things first. Let me just see if this is for me. What would you tell her are some practical steps she can take now to start syncing up with her body and her cycle? And then how to prepare for the fall retreat because of what we're going to be doing for those 5 weeks.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a free masterclass on my Instagram, which you can go and watch, which breaks down the 4 seasons of your cycle and how to work with them. Because
Yeah.
literally, the whole podcast episode could literally be on that. Um,
Yes.
but basically, the way I learned it, and then now I teach it, is in a spring, summer, autumn, and winter. We don't do luteal follicular ovulation because, like, who's like, everyone's like, when I say luteal phase, everyone's like, oh, I've never heard of that. People have never heard of it as women, like luteal phase, a week before your bleed. So in a spring, in a summer, in a autumn, in a winter seems to resonate more. And when I go into detail about how to work with each season, so like spring is your energy's rising, estrogen's rising, you've just come out of your bleed, you're feeling really good. In a summer is ovulation where you are ovulating, your body's preparing to get pregnant, your collagen is plumped, your face up, you're looking amazing. When you stand in front of the mirror, you're like, I look really good today. That will be
Those are my
ovulation.
favorite days.
It is a little bit of a flash in the pan. So like when you're
Yep.
ovulating, like celebrate those days.
Yeah.
In autumn. is usually the trickiest part for most women because they may experience PMS symptoms. They may have that inner critic come up. Progesterone is rising, which is the hormone that is supposed to make you slow down. So, this is why when you're in that phase, the week before your bleed, you are supposed to just chill a bit and take your foot off the gas. And if you're in the gym, you might not be able to lift as heavy. That's okay. That's normal. You'll want
Yeah.
to eat more. Your body will need 200 to 300 more calories per day. You will not put on body fat by doing that. Your body literally needs it. And
Yeah.
then in a winter is when you're bleeding. So when you really slow down. And when women understand that and start to implement that, like massive shifts can change. So going and watching that free masterclass will blow your mind if you don't know anything about it, because it did when I first learned it. I was like, this is wild. Why do I not know these things? This is insane.
Why did they teach me this in school? I wanted to learn this when I was in
Yes.
school.
Like literally didn't learn anything about it apart from periods and here's a tampon. That was it.
Right.
Um, and then obviously as we go into the fall retreat, it's going to be more deepening into the womb work. So really understanding how to tap into your womb, how to meet the keepers of your womb, because every single woman has the keepers of their womb, which are there. Some women are able to access it a lot more easier, but they are there to give you guidance and to take you on this journey. And the fall retreat coincides with the full moon and the new moon. So there's going to be a lot of releasing and then a lot of calling in what we want. Um, but when you really start to tap into the womb work and the womb wisdom, you will be amazed what happens. Like the last time I taught with Heather, I did a womb clearing session, and the amount of women that literally were messaging me like, oh my, like, what did you do? And this was a group session. This wasn't one to one. One woman was like, I'm not having heavy bleeds anymore. My C-section scar looks like it's gone down. Like all these mental things from a group womb session. And if you join the full retreat, there's going to be two of those. There's going to be two.
I'm so excited you're doing it twice. Like when you told me you wanted to do live teaching twice, I audibly squealed.
Because it's going to be great because we're gonna
Yeah.
clear all the shit first, and then in the next one we're gonna call in what you want. We're gonna put you on your highest fucking timeline. We're gonna clear and dissolve all the crap that doesn't belong to you and put you on your highest timeline, and it's gonna just be epic.
Okay. I love this. And I want to bring it down
Mm,
to, I call it coffee talk with my
yeah.
friends. So like you and I can have these conversations, right? And we're together. I hear you, you hear me,
Yeah.
we're on the same page, same wavelength. But just like you were talking about with some women come to you and they're like, I don't know what the fuck womb work is, but I feel like
Mhm.
I need it. Let's bring all this down to coffee talk for a second. So like the listener, if you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Keepers of the womb. What the fuck is being on a timeline? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you are living your day-to-day life and you start to recognize that a lot of things are happening that maybe you don't care for, right? It starts to feel like, oh, everything is always happening to me, or maybe you always feel under the weather or sick. Maybe you always feel anxious or a lot of doubt is always creeping in. Maybe fear is consistently the leader of the pack inside of you and it's making the decisions. Maybe even beyond this, your feelings are dictating what actions you do or do not take.
Yeah.
Um, let's get more personal. Maybe in the bedroom, you are not able to climax, or maybe you're like I used to be. And even though I love Travis with literally all of me so much, there was so much for me to work through in the beginning of our relationship. He would touch me and I'd feel like I wanted to crawl out of my skin sometimes.
Mhm.
Let's see what else. Is there anything that you can think of that they might be feeling when they're out of alignment?
Yeah, I mean, all of those things. I think that thing that you just brought up about not being able to climax is massive. Like, I
Yeah.
want to talk about that because the more I've deepened and understood about the womb work, but also about basically how most women's vaginas are completely numb because we're
Yep.
not taught how to use them. We're just told that the clitoris is just this thing, that's the only way you're going to climax, and that like cervical and G-spot orgasms are literally like unicorns. They're unicorns because your vagina is numb. So this was a massive thing for me, and this has been part of the womb work. When I work one-to-one with women, this we go deep into this because this opens up another layer. So
Yeah.
I'd love talking about this because there's little things that you can do, like tangible things. Like we talk about the energy stuff, but these are tangible things you can do. Like so they're yoni eggs that you can buy,
Mhm.
that you pop in your vagina, and it's to de-armor and to awaken her. I mean, there's courses you can buy that will teach you how to work with them. Or with what I've always done is just use them intuitively. And
Yeah.
actually now I use them to get incredible downloads, which is great.
Love that for you.
Meditate them, yeah. But if you are someone who's like, I would love to have enjoyable sex for hours, because if you get a good partner and you can have like, good couple of hours sex dates, which is again supposed to be normal, but it isn't because again, men are taught all these other things, but that's a whole nother episode. Um, but using yoni eggs and crystal wands to explore your body and to deepen into self-pleasure practices. Like so many women are scared to even put their fingers inside themselves to even
Yeah.
feel what their body feels like. And that has been another layer for me and for other clients that I've worked with to open themselves up more and to then be able to drop fully into their body. Because a lot of women, when they're interacting with their partners, they're in their head. And no
Yeah.
wonder they can't reach orgasm because they're in their head. These practices allow you to drop back into your body and experience it. And your sexual energy is your life force energy. And it's another way that we can call in what we want. Like everyone will know the term manifest. Like
Yeah.
you can bring in everything you desire. If you can picture it, you can bring it in. And there's an amazing woman you should follow called Kim Anami, who is
Ooh.
amazing. She talks about all this. She does amazing courses. I'm definitely going to do one of her courses at some point.
Yeah,
She's
I need all the info.
Yeah, she's great. She talks about all this and how if you want to manifest anything, you should have a sex date with your partner and you both are calling in the same thing and it comes in
Oh,
so much
Travis and I
quicker.
totally do that. We absolutely do that. We have our money dates. So we sit
Yeah.
down and we do our money, and we have a rule that we make sure that we have some sort of pleasure involved with the money dates. And for a
Hmm.
while, it was no pleasure until the money date because that was keeping us on track with doing the money dates because it was kind of hard in the beginning. But we kind of work it in, and we have like we will I would say probably our second year of being together, we're on year 8 now. Our
Hmm.
second year of being together, we would talk about like what we wanted to call into our life, and that would kind of get us into the mood, like talking about like the dream businesses we wanted to create, the dream home, the dream land, having ducks, having a pond, like all of these things. And then putting that energy into sex and
Yeah.
enjoying it. And just like I remember the first time I cried in the middle of sex and being like, this is really cool. Is this what it's supposed to feel like? I feel so connected. I feel connected to me. I feel connected to you. I feel connected to something bigger. I
Yeah.
love that you're bringing this up.
Uh-huh. It's a great topic because a lot of women, there's probably haven't even correlated that between them thinking that that's not for them. They're not going to be able to reach that kind of orgasm. They'll just,
Yeah.
stick with the clitoral orgasms. And women have been desensitized with vibrators and all that stuff. That's why the yoni eggs and the crystal wands are there to reawaken you. And like, I've not been funny, but who doesn't want to have like great sex all the time?
Right. Absolutely. 100%. And also, have you ever heard of Steph Tolive, the comedian? Okay,
No.
first of all, I will send you her information. And listener, you should probably it's literally she's called the filth queen. She's
Oh
filthy.
no.
I love raunchy comedy and she hits it. But she talks about like vibrators. She's like, who the fuck needs them to go this hard this fast? She talks about like her clip being blown off into smithereens. And I was like, literally, what is this? This is wild. Like I just talked to Trav about it not too long ago before we went to Sedona. I'm like, I don't even want to use this. Who
Yeah.
needs it to go this hard? Like, what the fuck? But like these type of feelings, I want to bring it down even further into coffee talk for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we're talking about this, but I want the listener to imagine, like, imagine you're at the grocery store and you had a long day at work, or you had a long day at the house with the kiddos, or doing whatever the fuck, and you're at the grocery store. And when you get to the grocery store, somebody takes your parking spot. They don't fucking know that you wanted to park there. They have no idea. You didn't have a turning signal on, but you knew it and you get frustrated. You get pissy, right? It's been a long day already. You walk into the grocery store and maybe you stub your toe on the fucking wheel of the cart and you're like, oh my gosh, something else. And it compounds and it compounds and it
Yeah.
compounds. This is how our lives can feel and the experiences we can have if we don't address core issues. And
Mm.
that's where I sat for so long. I remember before I got really deep into this work, I knew it existed. I was aware of certain things, not everything that I know now for sure. But I was so stuck in what I had been taught and what I had experienced in my life up until then. Like, well, that's not what my teacher taught me. That's not what my parents taught me. First of all, my parents were kids when they had me. They didn't know shit about fuck. Okay. They had no idea. They were just, still to this day, we're all just humans trying to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't necessarily stuck in my ways. I wouldn't say that, but I was very wary. Wasn't sure, uncertain. Like, do I go this deep within myself? Is that what I'm meant to do as an adult, is to go deep and to figure out the core? Because they're telling me I can just use a band-aid to cover up a lot of this shit. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
band-aids out there in the world, and there's commercials for them even. There's all these commercials talking about all these band-aids I can take for all these different reasons. And as soon as I started to get to the core, things like somebody taking my parking spot, no
Yeah.
frustration. Things like
Mm-hmm.
I can't reach climax, I can't even be touched, weren't an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Takes work, it takes dedication, it takes consistency, it takes support.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a quick fix. It's not a band-aid, but it's a forever fix.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I feel, not just the 5 week retreat, not just the fall retreat that we're going to do, but the work that we do with women, the work that anybody in any type of work like we do. I don't care if it's super spiritual, super scientific, because it's the same fucking thing. Like, whatever we're doing, we're here to help people live better in their way, on their terms, to have the life that they want. And I think it's important to bring it down and boil it down to this coffee talk, because it's like, well, how is womb healing going to help me? Well, do you want to be connected to your partner? Do you want to wake up and want to kiss them and they want to kiss you? Do you want your kids to see a healthy relationship growing up? Do you want to
Yeah.
go to the grocery store and not only not get pissed off at a stranger for no fucking reason, but to enjoy it and be like, okay, I'll get a different parking spot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all of this affects our daily lives, and our daily lives are our fucking life here on this planet. And if you have lived the same miserable ass day, or the I'm fine or it's okay day for 75 fucking years, that's not a life. It's not. Some people are cool with it. Pretty rare that you're going to find that. And
Yeah.
there are a lot of people on this earth, I believe, that are like you and I, who have deep desires for more. They know that there's a better life they can live. They can feel better. They can live better. They can enjoy life more, laugh more. They can have more good in their life. They know it's possible. They want to have that. They want to do that. They want to take responsibility, the radical responsibility for themselves in their life. And that's what this work does. So, like, the listener, if you're like, I don't know if I need womb work, I don't know if I need to do a 5 week retreat. Well, do you want to fucking live better? Do you want to
Mm-hmm.
be with cool? I mean, I think we're fucking cool. I think you're cool. I think I'm cool. Like, do you want to hang out with cool women who understand? Maybe we haven't walked the exact path that you have walked. That's normal. But we've done enough and studied enough and researched and lived and have knowledge and wisdom and training and all of this to be able to help women to do what they want to do on their terms. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite things about watching you with women thus far. And I'm really excited in the fall retreat is you want them to live how they want to live. You
Yeah.
want them to live on their terms, but happier and healthier and more aligned. So what would you say are some little daily things that they would notice just in the 5 week retreat? Like, what are some changes they'll see in their life after doing some of this?
I love that. Yeah, you're gonna notice so many things.
Right.
Oh my God. Like literally just like what you were saying about not losing your shit. Like that's a big one because like for me, I before I understood all this work, I was very much in my masculine energy. I'd always been really independent. I'd always done everything. Like I resonate with what you were saying with your partner about like not even like wanting to hold hands or no PDAs or nothing like that. And when I started to tap in to first my cycle,
Mhm.
and then understand about the womb work, and then understand about the conditioning around sex and our vaginas, and really started to turn inwards and just look at my behavior and the way that I was reacting to situations because I would react rather than taking a moment to just think and contemplate. Once I started to do the womb work, everything shifted. Like it takes time, but little things you will start to notice is some women like want to change their partners. You don't need to change your partner. You just need to change the way that you respond, the way you act, and they change accordingly because that's exactly what happened with my husband. When I was diagnosed with early menopause in 2022, it was like the rug was pulled, like I lost my shit.
Yeah.
Um, but when I started to tap into this work and started to change things about me, he responded. He stepped into his masculine. He stepped up to be the man that I needed him to be. And
Yeah.
he didn't like, I didn't ask him to do anything. He just became so tuned into me because I'd changed that he changed for the better. Like, we're not saying, oh, you've got to do all these drastic things. It's if you want to live the life that you fucking want, you want to not like succumb to all the shit that's going on in the media. If you want that little homestead, wherever that is, or just to live a peaceful life, you have to change the inner world first for it to
Mhm.
reflect the outer world. So all these little things will start to change. You'll just start to notice things about you. And I think for me, the biggest thing has been like the perception and the awareness. And like you were saying about sitting back and becoming the observer, you
Mhm.
start to take a step back from the drama, from the conflict, and you become that observer because you realize it's not worth your energy. Even
Mhm.
like responding online, it's not worth your energy. Like, I think it was Keanu Reeves that he said, if you told me 2 + 2 would 5, I would just say yes, because I'm at that point in my life where it's not worth the energy to disagree with you. So if
Yeah.
you want just peace, because that's where I feel like I'm at, I feel like everything is just like peaceful. And I
Mhm.
couldn't ask for anything more than that. And if you just want fucking peace, then this is what will start to happen. These little things will start to change and it will ripple out.
Yeah. 100%. And to take it back to the wellness, like physical wellness, I think that that's always a really easy way to, not necessarily a metaphor, but I suppose a bit. When you start working on physical health, whether it is nutrition or movement, even stretching, like anything at all, any small steps, it all adds up. And
Hmm.
how it adds up is your body changes, your health changes. Maybe you have specific organs that you're like, I need to work on my liver. I need to work on my heart. Like, I want these to be healthy. Whatever the fuck it is, every single step will get you closer to said goal. And if
Hmm.
we're looking like, let's just say simply at movement, simply at fitness,
Hmm.
if you go and I mean, I'm all for anybody doing whatever the fuck they want to do with their body. Like, it ain't my body, it ain't my choice. That's all you, babes. But like, let's say you're like, I want to lose 100 pounds, and you decide that I really want to do it by working out. I don't want to have any surgery. I want to do it by working out. That's my choice. And you go to the gym and you're there for 4 days. And at the end of the fourth day, you're like, this is bullshit. I haven't lost 100 pounds. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
That's a lot like this work. This
Hmm.
work is not going to be something, there are times I had a client, a one-on-one call before we met up today that I finished right before we jumped on. And she has shame, like most women, right? Like most humans. And we've been working through a couple layers of it. We've been doing a steady pace so as to not have it jolt her system, specifically what we're working through in her life experience and what she's living through right now. So it takes time. And then today, like many times in many other ways, we had a conversation that led to a deep visualization, that led to some energy work, that led to one, two, one, two, one, two. All these things happened, very fluid, very natural. And at the end of it, everything had changed. She felt different. I asked her some questions about how she was feeling about her self-worth, because that was one of the main elements we were looking at, of course. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
I need to sit with all that. Like, I feel like things are different. That
Mm-hmm.
can happen. It
Yep.
can be that you go to the gym 4 times and you're like, fucking biceps now. Like it can be a quick fix, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to be committed to yourself and committed to the process. I
Mm.
don't know how the quote goes, but it's something like be married to the process or something
Mm-hmm.
like that and detach yourself from the outcome. I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But like this work on ourselves, if we choose to do it, whether you choose to do mindset, somatic, spiritual, work with your relationship with money, with your relationship with others. I mean, with the relationship to your body and your womb, like this is all stuff we cover in our work, especially in the retreat. But even if you choose just one of these and you stick to a few habits and you tell yourself, you know what? If I want to live this life, I have to be this person. I can't
Yeah.
expect this life to show up for me. I can't expect fucking biceps to show up if I don't fucking go to the gym. I can't expect to feel better if I eat Doritos and fucking Oreos every damn day. Like, I wish that'd be lovely. But like, if you can be in a space where you recognize that it's worth the work, you're worth the work, you're worth the effort, you're worth it. Like it's worth
Mm-hmm.
putting in the time. So that way you don't live a life in 40 years from now, you hit a wall and you're like, who the fuck am I? Who am
Mm-hmm.
I? What is this life that I'm living? I'm not even happy. I don't know who I am. I've lost myself. You can
Mm-hmm.
prevent that. And I feel like that almost has become the norm, is
Yeah.
that it's like a midlife crisis. Like, oh yeah, you reach a point in your life and you realize, oh, I fucked everything up for 40 years and I don't know who the fuck I am. Like that doesn't have to be normal.
Yeah.
That can be an initiation into a new chapter of your life that feels good and exciting, instead of it being a brick wall that you hit and you have to fucking wipe the slate clean and start over because you don't feel good, you don't love yourself, and you don't love your life.
Mm.
This work is really, really important, no matter if you just choose one or the other, somatic, mindset, womb work. But I feel like when we bring it all together, especially in moments like the 5 week retreat, like when we bring all this together and it's really intentional and it's guided for the women that are there with us, and they get to sit back and enjoy the process and connect with other women who are like minded and have conversations and laugh and cry together. It's this safe, not to sound so fucking cliche, but it's this safe space that we create, and it is sacred, and it feels, I mean, you know, because you've been to them, like it feels like we're sitting in a room together, like hanging out in a living room, and we all have our 3 different types of drinks in front of us. Like it's it's so lovely. It's so what being with women should be, I feel.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And it allows all of these things to come together as naturally as they should. And it's
Yeah.
just, I feel so lucky and so grateful to have you there with us, because the knowledge and the wisdom that you bring and just who you are as a human, like knowledge and wisdom aside, just who you are as a human, it's so beautiful. You're so beautiful. And I really feel like this retreat, I'm going to learn a lot from you. I'm excited for the womb work. I'm excited to be a part of it. And I know that, we talked about one of my one-on-one clients who's in the fall retreat. She already did a womb healing with you recently.
Mm.
Like, and I know she's ecstatic for the fall retreat. I just feel like the women that are going to be there are the women that are meant to be there,
Yeah.
because this is the time. And they'll know,
Yeah.
like, they'll know. They're going to have a feeling deep inside where, like, this is the moment for me.
Yeah. 100%. You'll know if it's calling to you. Like that client of yours, she was like, you said something on your stories, and I was like, that was it. I knew that I needed this session. She didn't
Yeah.
know why. She had an idea and she just booked it. And I feel like if you're feeling that pull to deepen into the cycle, the womb, even if you're in menopause, still do it. One of my
Yep.
clients is post-menopause, had a hysterectomy. She's still connected to her womb because it's an energetic place. It's not just a physical place. So if you're feeling that pull and that call, then yeah, you want to get in the full retreat.
Yeah. Yeah. Or also, I mean, let's say the listeners like, I don't want to fucking do the fall retreat. I just want to dip my toes. I would love, you said that you have a 10-minute meditation, you have the free masterclass. Will you send me that info and I'll put it in the show
Yeah,
notes as well for them?
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. Will you tell them if they're not interested in the fall retreat and they just want to hang out with you, will you tell them the different ways that they can hang out with you and work with you right now?
Yeah, so actually I've just launched a membership, the Womb Space. Yeah,
Yes.
and I know,
Oh,
thank you. It's a
love that.
fantastic space. So that has got like a lot of masterclasses I've done in there, meditations. We had our first call a couple of weeks ago, setting up the space. So that is only like £17 a month.
Nice.
And you can join that and leave at any time. So that's cool. And then if you want like more one-to-one, I offer just one-off sessions. So like womb clearing sessions, womb healing sessions. It's very intuitively led by my guides and by your guides. You don't have to be in any way psychic. It's me doing all the work. And it's like a combination of energy healing and tapping into, like I said, the keepers of your womb to understand what all that is. And then I offer like long-term one-to-one, 3 or 6 months, where we go like really deep. So that is a lot of the womb clearings, but also a lot of like the tangible stuff. Like I can help you with like the nutrition, the cycle stuff, the movement, the tapping in and opening up your sexual energy and all that kind of stuff. And then I have actually just got a couple of like shorter, like 8 week one-to-one
Nice.
spaces, which is like for a specific reason. So I've got one where helping women trying to conceive, because that's been a
Mhm.
big thing. Helping the energy of their womb get in the right space, basically, to call in the new soul. But then
Yeah.
there's also the flip side of birthing creativity. So if you're really stuck, and as a woman's just signed up today for that. So
Congratulations to her
yeah,
and you.
yeah, thank you. So I'm really excited for her because she's like, I just feel like my creativity stuck. So that's 8 weeks of working together of a really like specific reason. So there's lots of different ways. Just like send me a message, because it's probably best just to have a chat
Yeah.
and just to see what you need. And like the womb clearing sessions are such a good place to start, because you get a really good feel for what's involved. And it's great because recently the sessions have been really strong, and women, even over Zoom, women are really feeling that energy exchange and the energy moving through their bodies. And yeah, it's wild. You need to
Yeah.
experience one. It's wild.
Yeah. And to speak to what you just said, there is something otherworldly, magical. Can't quite put your finger on how magical when you're in person with someone. Like
Yeah.
it is a different fucking level.
Mhm.
And I, as a client, was not prepared for how much when I worked with like the first time I worked in a group setting with one of my coaches, I was not prepared for how much I would gain from a group setting, how much I would
Yeah.
gain from being on Zoom because
Yeah.
it's Zoom. It's you and I are both big advocates. Like, don't fucking be on social media all the time. Don't fucking be on your phone all the time. Like, don't believe everything you see on social media. We are on social media because that is where we fucking market. Like, that's the
Yeah.
name of the game. But, like, yeah, we don't want you to be on your phone or on a computer or on a screen all the time.
Mhm.
But there is something really special about connecting with someone for many women from all over the world
Mhm.
and being in that space together and you fucking feel it. You're
Yeah.
sitting in your chair and you feel all the sensations, you have all of the experience. Yeah, it's not like you're sitting directly beside the person you're working with and they have their hand on your fucking shoulder, but it's not that far away from that. Like
No.
it's really incredible. Like I'll never forget the first time that I had remote energy work done to me. And
Mm.
I was like, well, my shaman was doing it, and she was like, okay, like you're gonna feel it, and this is what you're gonna feel. And I was like, okay, I'm fucking ready. I was not ready. I was like, how the fuck did you do that?
I
You
know.
are in Colorado. I'm in
Yeah.
Wisconsin. What the fuck? She
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I know, right? And I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time we've been together, I
Mm.
mean, the women risings, everything we've done, that's always been the consensus with women is like, I
Mm.
walked away from this feeling something. And
Yeah.
it just makes me even more excited from having you in those spaces, whether you were a guest or a speaker, to now being in the fall retreat as a teacher, because I know that when you work with women, first of all, I'm so excited for Egypt for you again. I'm so excited. Let me know the details. I'll share it with every fucking person I know. I'm so happy for you. You guys are going to get to work in person with Holly very soon in Egypt, which is so fucking cool. But like women that get to work with you in the capacity of being online and being in Zoom, they need to know that they will walk away different. No matter how fucking cheesy that sounds, no
Yeah.
matter if you believe it or not, it's the truth.
Mm.
And being in these spaces, I believe that technology and the time that we are in right now is the coolest fucking time to be alive.
Yeah.
Like, what a time to you can look up the answer to literally anything. You can put the ingredients that you have in your fucking refrigerator into your phone, and it can give you 27 different things you can make for dinner that night. It's cool as shit. It's an amazing time to be alive. It's an amazing tool to use. And when we use it in ways like this with the fall retreat, like us having this conversation,
Mm.
this is how it's meant to be used. The way that we can grow as humans and connect with others, it's pretty incredible. So please, if you're like, oh, I think I want to meet with Holly in person, yeah, you fucking should, because Holly's incredible and you absolutely should. But this is a great first step,
Yeah.
especially if you are not ready to do something in person.
Yeah. And I can guarantee after every single session, the women have felt what has been happening to them. And a big thing I've noticed when women are tapping into the womb is they actually see a lot of visuals.
I
So
love
a lot of the psychic women I work with who aren't visual people are like, I saw everything. Like I saw it in my mind's eye, like, when you
that. Mhm.
visualize. So yeah, if you want to see some crazy shit, and it's quite funny because the first call in the membership, one of the women was like, I felt like I was tripping on drugs. I didn't know if I was asleep or awake in the best possible way. So if you
Right.
want to like feel like you're tripping without the drugs, then you need to do the work.
Agreed. That is honestly, that's the perfect way to describe the feeling sometimes when you do this type of work. Absolutely. You
Yeah.
like get up and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Literally.
Okay, so I want to wrap up with them, with
Yep.
our listener. I have a few questions for you. Before I
Mm.
dive into those, though, I do want to just give a sneak peek about some newness in the fall retreat. So, the fall retreat, the spring retreat have been around for quite a few years now. And they're always evolving. Every year they evolve. Every year they're a little bit different, a little bit the same. That's why a lot of the women, like I've had women that have come to several fall retreats, several spring retreats. It's always something new. It's always different. But this year it felt like, I mean, you and I both know I follow astrology, and I like everything I create is based off of what's going on. And it felt like, bitch, this is the year to really change it up. So, one of the biggest things that I've done is I was hearing a lot from clients that they love all of the knowledge. They love the conversations we have. They love digging into this stuff because then that's where the light bulb moments. They're like,
Mm.
oh shit, this is incredible. Because it's one thing to hear it or to read it, it's quite another to experience it. And a lot of the women were like, it's very helpful for me to understand why this works, both from a scientific angle and a spiritual angle. Because a lot of the women that come to me are like, well, first of all, they're fucking really smart. They're very intelligent women. So they're like, I need to know the why, and
Yeah.
then I can let it soak in. So I've started to create something quite similar to my custom programs, where at the bottom, we're going to have just a little blurb. So like with the custom programs that I do for clients, it's usually like their custom astrology and human design based off of what we are going through. It tells them exactly how it applies to their life. for this retreat, it will be a spiritual and scientific breakdown for everything that we're going through. So that way we can get into the depth of it and into like have the big conversations. And you also have those little blurbs, which is one of my personal favorite pieces of this fall retreat. They've always been interactive. This year
Mhm.
will be the most interactive. This year, there'll be the most ceremonies, the most guided experiences with Holly and with myself. It is not a you come and you sit and you're like, okay, another fucking lecture, super cool. Can't wait to put this in my inbox and never fucking open it again. Like it's interactive. It's truly like we're all sitting in my living room together and hanging out. There's going to be a lot more somatics this year that we do in person. Even in the spring retreat this year, we did a lot of them, and they have this beautiful PDF that's a full breakdown of the different somatics, why they work, how they work, step by step on what to do in a very simple, organized way. This year, for the fall retreat, we're going to be starting and during the process and ending our work with somatics. There's going to be a lot more homework that's involved that has to do with somatics and accountability inside the private VIP chat. Um, the the neuroplasticity work this year is being amped up as well. Um, After talking to a lot of women that have gone through the spring and the fall retreat, there were some tweaks that I wanted to make for women. Um, really bringing in more of the NLP work, keeping the neuroplasticity work that is there, but bringing in new methods of brain retraining that is. So there's going to be a lot of that. And overall, I feel like what I've noticed in my recreation with it and in talking with you, Holly, about what we're doing, there is a much deeper feminine reclamation that is very present in this fall retreat. So if you're a woman and you're like, I want to fucking feel like myself again, I want to feel like a woman again, I want to be in connection with my body. Even if you're like, I want to connect with my partner, my friends, my family, like it is full feminine reclamation, mind, body, and soul. And those are some of the bigger differences. So I'm very excited for this year. Very excited for all the newness. And you and I both know one of the like first things I say at the end of every session is like, "What do you guys think? What do you
Yeah.
think? Like, tell me what you got, what you like, what you didn't like." So this is really just this beautiful evolution from so many years of all the little things women have said and applying it. And I'm really excited for that. So to the questions, and then I'll let you go. Holly, what are you seeing in women right now that tells you that all of us are ready for a deeper feminine reclamation?
Yeah, this question is amazing because I'm seeing this so more clearly now. Like when I was first talking about the menopause stuff and the cycle stuff, even a couple of years ago, it was very much like crickets and very much like it was a very specific type of woman that would be interested in that.
Mhm.
Now it's literally like women are like messaging me daily, like wanting to know more about it. And I feel like I can just talk about it and women understand it. So that means that they are starting to kind of think of the hormonal birth control, the HRT, these things that have been given to us because this is supposed to regulate us and basically disconnect us. Women are going, actually, this doesn't feel right in my body, and I actually need to change something. And they're like, okay, what else is there? And I was chatting to a naturopath friend who was like, I'm seeing this more and more. More women want, yes, the tangible things, but they're also now craving this more intangible, spiritual side because they can see that the difference that it makes in tapping back into their feminine power. And it
Mhm.
isn't, like I said, about sitting back and, letting people walk all over you. Your divine feminine power is really strong. And it's about being tapped into that inner knowing, getting rid of that inner critic or quieting her down and just knowing who the fuck you are. Because, like I said, when you know who you are, you can't be controlled by the system. So, there's this correlation between us being medicated and being disconnected. And when we're not, we're really unstoppable. And I feel like that is rising up in women. And we're starting to see like this really big shift. And I'm really fucking excited for it.
Cheers to that. Cheers to yes, 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 yes. Ooh. I could not agree more with you.
Mm.
That is that is one of the most beautiful pieces I think that has happened in the last 5 or so years. I feel
Yeah.
like the last 5 or so years has it's been a shaken to awaken situation. It's been a lot for all of us. So many different angles, so many different things have happened. I am working with a lot of clients right now actually that are on the back end of a lot of dysregulation because of what happened in the last 5 years in the country, in the world, within our own personal lives. I mean, within everything. And although I mean, and also with like the movement of women, like even with the Me Too movement, like a lot, like all of these things. And it's really incredible to see that all of this is happening and women are choosing to actually become healthier.
Yeah.
They are choosing, they're saying, that's great that you can give me a quick fix. That's wonderful.
Mm.
Like, and it's in a lot of us, like you were talking about the old fucking magazines from like the early 2000s. I don't know if that was before we pressed record or when we were recording, but we were discussing like the magazines, how it used to kind of pit women against each other and be like, look at her, she has cellulite. Look at her, she gained 10 pounds. Like, and we were being sold such bullshit.
Mm.
And now not only have we stepped back from that, but we have stepped back from I don't want another quick fix. I don't want another piece of bullshit. I don't want another way to be disconnected. I don't want another way to numb the fuck out. I want to know how can I get to the root of it and how can I be who I want to be, how I want to be living the life I want to live and be fucking happy and healthy.
Yeah.
And we want to be connected. And I think that was another big piece with the feminine reclamation that I have noticed, and with this entire subject matter talking to you now, women are so fucking tired of being disconnected from each other.
Yeah.
Like, we're so tired of it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in our heads anymore. And that was the last place because it's never made sense in our hearts. It's never made sense in our body. Our heads were the only one that was like, oh, maybe we're supposed to be disconnected and fucking compete with each other and all this shit. And we're
Yeah.
like, no, we're done. We're fucking done. What are we doing this for? It's so silly.
Hmm.
So I'm glad that we're on the same page there. Okay. Second question. Why do you think that embodiment or living what you've learned and nervous system safety are the missing link for most women?
Yeah, I love this question. Because women are in their heads, like I was saying, women have all the tabs open. Men don't have this. Women have all the tabs open about thinking about all the things that they have to do. And it's very difficult for them to drop into their bodies in any capacity at all. And again, with the cycle, if you're living in harmony with your cycle, your nervous system will be regulated. If you're taking the pill, you're disconnected, you're pushing through, you're going to burnout, you're completely dysregulated and not living in harmony with your body's natural rhythms. And again, like we say, there's all these things that are contributing to it. But for me, that is the missing piece, being able to just wake up and understand what your body needs that day, what you need that day.
Mhm.
Um, and like we've said, society glorifies the working harder. When yes, of course, there you have to work hard to reach your goals, but not to the detriment of your health. You need to drop into your body daily. Like that should be the first thing you do when you wake up. Like just laying there and just been like, what do I need today? What does my body need? And honestly, just doing that one little thing, that one little simple thing can start to shift everything. And for me, dropping into my body and doing all the stuff that I've done has completely changed my life. And I know that it will change every single woman who wants to do this work. It will change their life. I can fucking guarantee it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like the quick fix situation we've applied, maybe not intentionally, but we've
Mm.
applied to our own personal development, personal healing, whatever the fuck words you want to use. You can't read a book and it's not osmosis. You're not just going to like lay on the book and then like the fucking all of the stuff and you're like, oh, I read the book. Why is it not working?
Yeah,
Because you're not doing it.
doing it.
You're not doing it.
Hmm.
That was for sure a lesson I had to learn. I think that's a lesson all that's like part of it. It's a
Yeah.
part of the fucking process. Like, I will never forget getting so frustrated about one part of my own. Well, her journey is not my favorite, but it works. Like my own fucking life. There was one part that I was so frustrated about, and I was being such a brat. And I like stomped down the stairs. I was in full brat mode, and I like just vented to Trav about it. I was like, I'm doing everything I fucking know how to do. I'm fucking doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm resting, and I'm working. Like I went on a rant, and he was just fucking amazing, Trav. He was like, yes, baby. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 6 months later, during the eclipses, of course, 6 months later, I was like, bitch, you were not doing everything you knew. You knew it
Yeah.
intellectually. You understood how the processes worked. You had the knowledge, you had the research backing from science. You understood it from a spiritual perspective. You were applying it 10% of the time and expecting 100% of the time results. That's what
Yeah.
the fuck you were doing. And it was
Mhm.
a shot right to the face. I was like, damn, it's it's that quick fix. It's that, well, I did it 4 times. Just like we were
Yeah.
talking about with the gym. I know that that's what we do because I fucking did it too. I was like, "Ah, I fucking did this with the brain retraining and the neuroplasticity work, and I've been doing it. Why is my brain not different? Well, bitch, you've been thinking the same way for 35 years. So it's gonna take a fucking minute for it to fucking change. And like when we decide that we're going to embody, which I really lean more into the phrase of living what you've learned because that I
Mm.
feel like helps my clients really grasp what embodiment is too. Yeah, it's getting into your body and it's doing the things you know you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Like your relationship with your body and learning the language of your body is much the same as any relationship. If you avoid any type of connection with your body and you're like, I wonder why my body and I don't have a great relationship. Well, you're not talking to it, you're not listening to it, you're
Mhm.
avoiding it. You maybe even when it's screaming to you, you're like, can't hear you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you're saying. But, and that's become so normal. It's become
Mm.
normalized to do that, that when we choose to start being in our body, starting our days that way, like you were saying, which is so important. When we choose to take the things that we've learned and live them and apply them and be consistent with them and to give it time and to be patient, when we do these things, things change quite quickly. It
Yeah.
doesn't take 35 years to take 35 years of brain shit and be like, well, I'm stuck here for 35 years of work. No, not at all. But it's the missing link in my perspective because we're so focused on how can I do this a quick fix. I need the quick thing. I need to do it fast. And that shit's usually not what lasts. That
Yeah.
is usually a quick dopamine hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely agree with everything. 100%.
Okay,
Everything.
last question.
All the
Last
things.
question, and then I will let you go, my dear. How do you define true feminine power?
So for me, it's just being authentic to myself and to other people. And like we've said, not being that person that judges other women of the lives that they lead. It's
Yeah.
actually celebrating and lifting other women up and being genuine about it because we can all say, oh, yeah, 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 and like say the thing. You can say the words, but you can tell if there's authenticity behind it. And what I've learned, it's been in spaces with women who genuinely want to see you win, has
Yeah.
been completely life changing. And so to me, true feminine power is literally being in your most authentic self and like speaking your truth and not being afraid of what someone thinks about you because of what you've said. Because if everybody was more like this, then we wouldn't have all the fucking bullshit that's happening right now. So authenticity to me is just a massive, massive thing. And learning how to step into that myself has really changed my life for the better and helped to heal so many like sister wounds and witch wounds and all that stuff. Finding my tribe of women has just been life changing, and it can be life
Mm.
changing for lots of other women as well.
I love that you brought in the finding your tribe.
Mm,
That's really important. Like, there is a time and a space for all of us to go inward and to have that little cocoon season or seasons.
Mm.
Honestly, I feel like so much of our time in Wisconsin was a cocoon season for me. And then there's a time and you can feel it. You can feel it in your body. It's not even a thought. It's a
Mm.
feeling. It's a sensation where you're like, I need to be around other women. I need the hugs. I need the laughter. I need the cackling. I need the silliness. It's a pull unlike anything else. And there's at least for me, when I first started to feel that way about specific areas of life, because it's happened multiple times. I mean, for at least probably 15 years for me, like there's been different areas of life where I've come out of different types of transformation and I'm like, oh, it's time now. It's time. I can fucking feel it. But there were, especially more recently, I was trying to figure it out. I was like, what am I? There's something I need. I don't know
Mm.
what it is that I need. And I I think I listened to probably 25 fucking books because I was like, it's probably in one of these books. I'll just listen
Mhm.
to it while I'm on the treadmill and then it'll click. And like I did these things like we all do until I got to a point where I'm like, let me check in again. Let me do another journaling session. Let me fucking figure out what's actually happening in here real quick. And it just kept coming back to you have to figure out who you can lean on and who can lean on you and who your tribe is and who you can talk to about these things because you can't have out these type of conversations with everybody. We were saying that earlier, like you got to bring it down to a coffee talk sometimes. Sometimes you have to have conversations with people you're like, okay, I'm not going to talk about energy. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about what was the weather yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is the worst also. That's like the worst. But like when you can find people, like you said, where you can just be yourself and you can talk about the things that excite you and the things that light you up and it lights them up. And my favorite type of people are the ones when you're like in a conversation with a bunch of your friends, right? And not because of any ill intent, but you get interrupted because everybody's excited and they're talking, right? And then there's always that person that looks at you and they maintain eye contact with you and they're like, what were you saying? I fucking love those bitches. Those are my favorite
Yeah.
types of people because I'm like, yeah. And like, it's those people that you're looking for.
Mm.
And I mean, I know you do this with your membership, of course, because it's how you run your life, it's how you run your business. Like you create these spaces for women where women have those feelings and they find their tribe and they leave it. They're like, oh my gosh, cool ass women like that exist. And we can have conversations like this and we can connect and we can talk about weird shit and fun shit and silly shit. I love that you pointed out finding your tribe as part of true feminine power because I couldn't agree more. True feminine power is understanding that none of us stand alone, we all stand together.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you. I'm so glad that you're going to be in the fall retreat. Thank
I'm
you
so
for coming
excited.
on today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. I'm so
Of
excited for the
course.
fall retreat.
Me too. Any last words that you'd like to leave them with before we exit today?
Just that tapping into your womb will change your fucking life. Like guaranteed.
Yeah.
100% guaranteed. If you don't know what it is, just go on my Instagram page and you will welcome to this new world of womb work.
Yes, and the show notes because I'm going to make sure we have your meditation and your masterclass in the show notes. I want to make it easy for them to find you. And I'm also going to make sure that your Instagram is in there as well for them.
Perfect.
One last thing on that. If you have a womb, it is quite literally a fucking portal that if you so choose, a soul comes into this world through. Okay? Like let's black and white this shit. Like let's not gloss it over. If you have a womb, it is created so that a soul can come into your body and you can create a whole human being. That's magical ass shit. No matter who you are, no
Yeah.
matter if it's in a textbook to kind of water it down, be like, well, you're just a woman and it's just natural to have kids. It's magical shit.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
magical. And when you start working with that and you start understanding it, and I'm in the baby steps. I don't know anything close to what Holly knows. That's why she's teaching it and I'm not. But I will
Mhm.
tell you from my experience as a noob to this area of life, when you tap into that space, You feel like a woman in a way that you never have before.
Mhm.
You tap into, and maybe like when we talk about feminine power, like this whole time, you've been like, that sounds like a hashtag. It's because it is. That's because it's all over fucking Instagram. But that's because so many women are waking up to it. So many women are remembering. It's real though. Remembering what real feminine power is, remembering how powerful you are, remembering how powerful your body is, understanding what it means to connect to that space without fear and without the trauma. Fuck,
Mm.
without, there's so much trauma that lives in all of us, unfortunately, that is passed down. And when you
Mhm.
start to work through all of that with women like Holly, your life really does change. It's not bullshit, it's very real.
Yep.
And it's very important because it really will be one of the main things that I believe and you believe changes the world.
Yeah. 100.
And you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself right now, whoa, what just happened? Everything just ended very abruptly. Holly and I were wondering the same exact thing as we were in conversation just then, and everything stopped recording out of nowhere. And instead of pressing start again, we decided to just listen. So I wanted to come back, of course, and remind you of a few very important things. The number one being, please remember to go be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And maybe when it comes to being kind to yourself, you go stand in front of the mirror, look in your own eyes, and tell yourself, hey, I'm really fucking proud of you and I love you. And maybe you even give details about what it is that you're proud of, because when is the last time that you celebrated a win and gave yourself some credit for the work that you've been doing? And of course, when it comes to being kind to others, go use your imagination. Whatever comes to your head, whatever comes to your heart, do that. Go be kind to others. Now, last piece of information that I'm really excited to give you, especially because you're listening to this in the final 5 days to claim your seat for the fall retreat. So, if anything that Holly and I were just talking about interests you, if you are wondering about anything, maybe you have some questions about what all are you receiving when you join the fall retreat? What does that look like? How will you feel? What type of woman is this for? If you want any of that kind of information, please reach out to me. You have 5 days left until the doors close for good, and they will not be reopening. So please go claim your seat for the fall retreat. And a quick reminder that we have VIP access, which includes everything regular access comes with, as well as the private VIP chat and some VIP bonuses per the usual. And the regular access is the replays, the live calls, the guest teacher. It's everything. Regular access is everything. All of the extras I give you, all the extras from Holly. It just doesn't have the VIP private chat where we are pretty much hanging out every single day outside of the live calls once a week and the VIP bonus. So if you're looking at VIP right now and you're wondering if that's right for you, it is $577 for all 5 weeks. And of course, there are payment plans for that. You guys were very loud. And of course, I listened. It's something that you've been wanting for a while, and it is available now if you would like to do the payment plan for the VIP. And if you are looking at regular access, you're thinking you want to dip your toe in and see what this is all about. You want to have the access hub that has all the replays. You want to be able to come back and put yourself through this retreat time and time again, because every time you go through it, you're going to have something new that you learn and something new that you apply. That is only $333 for all 3 weeks with coaching, both with myself and with Holly Lamb. So, if this is something that interests you, you have 5 days left. Like I said, send me a DM on Instagram. Probably don't do it on TikTok because it's pretty rare that I answer those or even get into that inbox. But send me a message on Instagram, or you can email me at my private account, which is heatherpowell.coaching@gmail.com. Just send it directly to me so that way I can get back to you. So hopefully I will see you in the fall retreat. We start on Wednesday, October 2nd, or I'm sorry, October 22nd for our first live call. And I'm very excited for all of us to jump into this. The fall retreat is always a really good one, especially because the winter months are when it's time to go inward. So we might as well use the energy as it's meant to be used. You know what I mean? So I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for coming to another incredible episode of Brazen. And yeah, have a great day. We'll talk soon.